Hi, I'm Dani from Sincerely Spain, a blog dedicated to helping you thrive wherever you are in your journey living abroad in Spain. And today's topic is about something that is very important to many people, coffee. Now, before we get too deep into this video, I want to acknowledge that although we are going to talk about this as Spanish-style coffee, we are talking about coffee made with a stovetop percolator like this. We know it is an Italian-style coffee maker. The Spaniards know it's an Italian-style coffee maker, as they call it a Cafetera italiana when they use the full name. However, for the sake of being a Spain-based blog, and because we've only seen this type of coffee maker used when living in Spanish homes, we're going to talk about it as Spanish coffee. Alright, let's get into the process. So, to begin, you're going to open up your cafetera and remove this inner portion so that you can fill the bottom half with water. As you see here, I like to rinse mine out a bit before I fill it up, but if you're using your cafetera quite regularly, you don't necessarily have to do that. Once you have the water filled to this top notch, and I'll come back to show you exactly what it is I'm talking about here, you're going to reinsert the middle piece. Once you have that middle part reinserted, you're going to go ahead and add your coffee grounds. I show here an example of the kind of coffee you might be buying. This is just your regular old coffee grounds, not an instant or anything like that. And you're going to spoon in however much you would like to put in. Obviously, the more you use, the stronger it will come out. I don't usually fill mine all the way to the top, but no matter how high you fill it up, be sure to tamp it down with a spoon or some other flat-ish object. This is so that you have those grounds rather tight inside. I'm told that that makes a difference in the process. Once you have the coffee patted down, be sure to close your cafetera as tightly as possible to avoid any leakage during the brewing process. Alright, and now we're in the final stretch. You're simply going to place your cafetera onto the smallest hob on your stovetop, and I like to turn the temperature all the way up to the top setting. For me, that's number 9 on this stove, and you're simply going to wait until it starts to brew. This could take anywhere from 3 to maybe 10 minutes depending on the level of heat that you put, as well as the size and style of the cafetera. You'll notice here that I take a moment to open up the cafetera to check if it is bubbling over yet. At first it is not, but the second time it definitely is, and you'll want to be careful if you do this as well, because as you notice it does sputter out a bit at me. But I've corrected that by simply coming back with a dish towel instead, so as to protect myself. And as you can see here, the coffee will continue to bubble up through that middle spout until it is finished. And as soon as that happens, you can go ahead and turn off the flame and very carefully remove it from the stovetop in order to pour your coffee. As you see here, I recommend pouring your coffee over a sink. And the reason I do this, and the reason that I use this large arc to pour from a higher position, is because no matter what, no matter how great your cafetera is, there's a really good likelihood that it's going to leak a bit as you are pouring. And so in order to deal with this, to have the quickest and easiest cleanup, I just like to pour it over the sink. And voila, there you have it, your coffee is finished. Now personally, I enjoy cafe solo, which is only coffee, when I'm drinking coffee at home, but if you would like to reproduce a café con leche, I would recommend steaming your milk on the stovetop or at least microwaving it so that when you mix the two together you still have a hot cup of coffee. A couple things to note, a cafetera of this size will generally produce 2 cups of coffee in my experience, but be aware that those are 2 smaller cups than you might expect if you are an American like me. When I make coffee in a different way, I will definitely serve myself more coffee than I get out of a cafetera if I am serving for 2 people. Still, as we mentioned in our other article and our other video on the coffee culture in Spain, do be aware that this coffee is generally stronger and a bit more bitter than what you might be used to. So test it out. Some people will actually water down their coffee, which is an option as well if that works for you, or simply add a little bit extra sugar or a bit extra milk if you feel you need it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoy your Spanish coffee. Hasta luego!